Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we are going to help somebody who apparently they looked through my stuff trying to see if I had done a tutorial for this, and no, I had not. And I can tell you why I didn't. Um, this was made back in probably the early 90s. So, yeah, no internets, no tutorials back then, no YouTubes, none of that good stuff. So, this is going to be a fun lesson in taking an image of something and breaking it down exactly because um, there are some aspects of this I'm not really sure, but I want to make this one actually the same as the other. So I'm going to paste it over here, and then I'm going to use the rotate tool and rotate that 90 degrees like that. And then let's make it bigger. Whoa. Reset. The things aren't connected. There's like a little chain link, and if it's connected, you can pull on one box and the whole thing goes. If it's not connected, you can distort it. That's so. There we go, scaled up. And we're going to put that onto a new layer so we can move it around. Right, so why are we doing this a little bit differently? Well, because, oh wait, this is 8. That's not the one I need. I need, I had the wrong templatey thing. So hang on, let me grab this pasted layer, copy it, put it on the right template. This one to a new layer. Great. So this was made a long time ago. I don't know how many knots there are from the top to the center. So if I started in the center, we might not get it exact. And I kind of wanted to be able to show the difference in how we would make this if we wanted to make it exactly the same. So, let's try using the colors that are in it. So this is kind of a light blue, kind of got a grayish tint, and you can see I started off the row coming out like this. So that's real simple, and that means that our first string is just traveling along this way. Okay. We're just going to do this like as if I've never done this bracelet, even though I totally did. And then try to, break it apart. So it's a little hard to see, but there's a knot here, and this is 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 just past it. So 5 for this darker blue, right? So let's grab up some of that blue. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it doesn't go all the way to the end before coming back in, right? And it comes back in, and you can see there's just like 3 knots along here. If that was even questionable, we could tell that this is a thing, because this right here, maybe I can get a better purple from that. Hang on. Okay. We can see that this has a diamond with just one thing in the center, right? So there's how it's basically starting. So we know that this one out here is doing this. So it's a little tedious trying to do this part, but trust me, there's a method to this whole madness here. because most of the time here, I think we are seeing these three colors going about it. And there was something a little bit clever in how I did this pattern back when, because I wasn't even using cut strings nearly as much as long as I do now. So, all right, we still have the purple. All right. So this is our first diamond. And now we're going to use these diamonds to kind of measure our way to the center. All right. So there's the first one. This is the second one. Third. So let's see how many are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. So we laid this out first because this is going to make it easier to kind of see what the other strings are, and you'll see here in a second. All right, so now this purple is coming out, and there's a lighter blue diamond going on inside of that, like this. And there's a darker blue dot that's inside of that. And then this comes out like this. So you can see our normal guideline is all the way down here. So had we made this from the center outwards, the number of strings would have been off. Now, if you wanted to make this for yourself and you want to extend it down a little bit, obviously that's not a thing that, you know, is going to mess you up or cause any trouble. All right, so now let's just kind of put all of these in place. Okay. So we've used 3 colors, and there's 6 strings on either side. So basically this whole thing comes down to the fact that we can have extra of each one of these colors. And then the trick in doing this is that we do it in a way that makes it really easy for us to actually replace the strings before they get too short to actually go on. That's what I'm aiming for. So the first thing to do, though, is to know where all of these strings kind of came from. And that's why I'm working out these underlying strings. All right. So back up to the top. And we're going to grab the darker color. And it just kind of runs along the outside like this. And then you can see when it gets to where this diamond is, it goes all the way out to the very edge. And, well, this thing is symmetrical. We don't actually have to fill in both sides. So let's make this go a little faster here. Right? All right. I'm guessing you guys are kind of into the idea of saving time as well. So hang on. Let's get this. It still takes a little bit though, doesn't it? All right. There we go. And then it'll be this light one out here at the edge. And there was a little clue as to where the other string goes. Don't know if you noticed that yet, but there's a clue about the other light because that is in the center of all of those purple ones. So we know that this is a light strand. Now this one is just going to kind of stay in here for the most part. Now this means this one here is not getting used as much as the one on the outside. In fact, argumentably, these probably don't get used as much as, say, the dark or the purples. So so we can, oops, that was weird. Hang on. There we go. We can bring this in here so that way we can swap those out. Right? So we can exchange the two. So the one on the outside was being used more. We can swap those. Yeah, I don't know which is the next one we do. So that's our two of the lights. For all intensive purposes, I would say we would do this for our dark purple. And why is because we can keep exchanging it and we can keep making it so that way they're getting used, right? So you can keep changing them up, use the one that's the longest. We don't get to change as frequently with the light color. Ooh. Oh, wait, though. If we do this, we end up with a dark purple in the center, and the original had a blue. All right. I guess I hadn't really thought about it back then. I don't think I actually went to the trouble of making out the pattern. But apparently, this has to be the darker blue. And then the purple has to get exchanged at the middle. I was going to say it could go kind of either way, but if we're going to try to make the pattern exactly as the original, this is it. Mind you, this was made in the 90s, like I said, like early 90s. So it's hard for me to actually say like how much intent went into it. Like, did I work out to have the dark blue here or not? I don't know. I can't say. But by running this dark one out here means that we don't get to exchange it until we get to the center, which is fine. There's no harm there. The dark blue, obviously, that can be exchanged all the time. That's not even an issue at all in this. So the light and the darkest will get changed in the center. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some design magic. I'm going to, make the layer with our example disappear. And then I'm going to use the move tool to actually just move this line to the center of this, which, well, that landed exactly perfectly. That's kind of awesome, right? That's doesn't seem like that happens every day. We're going to get the select tool and we're going to grab this top quarter of it and just use those guidelines to lock that on. We're going to copy and paste it and then use the flip tool and flip horizontally, and we can bring this over and anchor it down. And the guidelines help me to actually put that to where it just snaps right on. Now, that makes our whole top half complete. So you can see we saved a bunch of time. We didn't have to fill in both sides. Now, we're going to save a bunch of time and copy the whole top half. Control C, Control V. And again with the flip tool and flip vertically. And we almost had it aligned. Just use the arrow key to shift that over a little bit. And that's about how much longer the bracelet would have been if we had started it from the center and worked itself out. So you might want to add a little bit more. That's really up to you. But there it is, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you to the person who requested this. Yeah, I kind of forgot about the fact that there's so many bracelets I made long before the tutorial, so maybe I'll actually go back through my portfolio over my website and take a look and see if we can't do some more of these. So thank you very much. Thank you to my Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members for making this possible. I'm actually going to make this bracelet here, and yeah, I need string to do that. I need the supplies, and yeah, without your guys' help, I wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you guys very much. And yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.